Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we are looking at ASP Isotopes and their recent filing. It seems like they're trying to raise some cash and the details might surprise you. Are they onto something big or is this a sign of trouble? We will find out. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. This is an 8K filing, also called a current report. Companies use this form to announce major events that could be important to investors. This filing from ASP Isotopes is about a deal they made to sell more shares of their stock. The date to keep in mind is June 2, 2025. That's when the events described in this report happened. The company we're talking about today is ASP Isotopes Inc. They're officially registered in Delaware. Here's where it gets interesting. Item 1.01 tells us about a big agreement, a material definitive agreement that the company entered into. These words mean they signed a contract that's important enough that it could affect the company's future. On June 2, 2025, ASP Isotopes made a deal with some underwriters who are essentially banks or financial firms to sell shares of their stock. This is called an underwritten registered direct offering. Basically, they are selling shares directly to investors with the help of these underwriters. The amount of shares they are selling is 718,797 shares. These are new shares of the company's common stock that are being offered to investors. The price of each share in this offering is 60 cents. This is the price investors will pay for each share. The underwriters are buying them for a slightly cheaper price. The underwriters have agreed to purchase the shares from the company pursuant to the underwriting agreement at a price of $6.25 per share. So that means the underwriters get 40 cents from each share sold. After all the fees and expenses, ASP Isotopes expects to get around $46.8 million from this offering. This is the net proceeds, or the money they actually get to keep. These shares are being sold under a registration statement that ASP Isotopes filed earlier. This means they've already told the SEC about their plans to sell these shares. The deal is expected to close around June 3, 2025, but that depends on some standard closing conditions being met. These are things that have to happen to finalize the deal. There's a copy of the actual underwriting agreement attached to this filing. If you want to see all the details, you can find it as Exhibit 1.1. There's also a legal opinion attached as Exhibit 5.1. This is basically a lawyer saying that the shares are legally allowed to be sold. The company includes a section on forward-looking statements. These are basically disclaimers that say things could change and they're not promising anything. It's like saying, we think this will happen, but who knows? They mention that there are risks involved and you can read about them in their annual report, the Form 10K. It's always good to check those out to get the full picture. Item 8.01 is about other events, and in this case it's about a press release. The press release is attached as Exhibit 99.1. This is how they announce the offering to the public. Now let's put this all together. ASP Isotopes is selling over 7 million shares of their stock at 6.65 each hoping to raise about 46 by information they're obligated to share. So now we can ask, what does it all mean? Well, from the outside we can see that raising money like this dilutes the value of existing shares. In other words, each share is now worth a smaller piece of the company since there are more shares overall. Why would a company do this? Maybe they need the money for something important, like expanding their business, paying off debts, or investing in research and development. However, if everything is going well, then these are all excuses. From what I see, this looks like a risky situation. Isotopes needs the money, so they are diluting the shares to get it. This is usually a sign of weakness and potentially financial struggle. The fact that they're using underwriters suggests they couldn't get the money themselves through a private sale. The big question for investors is, what will ASP Isotopes do with this money? Will they turn things around and create value, or will this just delay the inevitable? It's definitely something to watch closely. Alright, that's our breakdown of ASP Isotopes' latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.